Let's cut through the BS. You've got 6 main transmission types on the market right now: manual, automatic with torque converter, AMT, CVT, DCT, and IMT. They all move power from your engine to the wheels, but how they do it, how they feel, and what they're built for, completely different. Manual transmission, the OG, this is the purest setup. You've got a clutch pedal, a gear lever, and full control over every shift. When you press the clutch, you're physically disconnecting the engine from the gearbox. That lets you slot into the next gear using a set of synchrome rings that match the speed of the input and output shafts. Let the clutch out and you're locked back in. It's all mechanical. No computers making decisions for you. You control the revs, you control the timing, you feel everything through the pedal and the stick. Advantages: total involvement. You decide when to shift, and how to use the power band. It's lightweight, simple to fix, and cheaper to maintain. Plus, if you know what you're doing, you can engine brake hard, heel-toe downshift, and keep the car balanced through corners in ways automatics just can't match. Disadvantages? You're doing all the work. In traffic, that gets old fast. It's slower than modern dual clutch or auto setups in a straight line. And if you're not smooth, you're either bogging down or roasting the clutch. Best for drivers who want control, who actually enjoy shifting, and who don't mind the effort. Automatic transmission, torque converter. This is the classic slush box, no clutch pedal. Instead, you've got a torque converter, a fluid coupling that uses transmission fluid to transfer power from the engine to the gearbox. Inside, there's an impeller on the engine side and a turbine on the transmission side. The fluid gets thrown between them, and that's how power moves. Once you're rolling, a lockup clutch can engage to eliminate slippage and improve efficiency. The transmission uses planetary gear sets and hydraulic pressure to shift between gears automatically. Advantages: smooth, effortless. You don't think about it. Great in traffic, great for highway cruising, and modern ones with 8, 9, or 10 speeds are quick and fuel efficient. They can also handle serious torque, which is why you see them in trucks, SUVs, and muscle cars. Disadvantages: heavier than a manual, more complex, so more expensive to fix when something goes wrong. There's also a tiny bit of power loss through the torque converter, even with lockup. And if you want to hold a gear or drop down fast, you're waiting on the computer to catch up. Best for daily drivers, long-distance cruisers, anyone who wants comfort and reliability without thinking about shifts. AMT, automated manual transmission. Take a manual gearbox. Now replace the clutch pedal and gear lever with actuators controlled by a computer. That's an AMT. It's still a manual under the hood, same clutch, same gears, but a robot is doing the shifting for you. When the system decides it's time to shift, it disengages the clutch with a servo motor, moves the gear lever mechanically, then re-engages the clutch. It's cheap to build because it's just a manual with bolted-on automation. Advantages? You get the fuel efficiency of a manual without needing to work the clutch yourself. It's way cheaper than a full automatic or DCT, which is why you see it in budget cars. Maintenance is simple too. It's just a manual transmission with electronics. Disadvantages? The shifts are slow, really slow. There's a noticeable pause between gears because the clutch has to fully disengage, the gear has to move, then the clutch re-engages. That creates a jerky, head-nodding experience, especially in stop-and-go traffic. It also tends to overheat the clutch in heavy traffic because it's constantly slipping. Best for budget buyers who want an auto but don't care about smooth shifts or performance. CVT, continuously variable transmission, no gears, that's the whole thing. A CVT uses 2 pulleys connected by a metal belt or chain. One pulley is connected to the engine, the other to the wheels. The pulleys can change diameter, widen, or narrow on the fly. That changes the ratio between engine speed and wheel speed without any fixed steps. So instead of jumping from first to second to third, the CVT just slides through an infinite range of ratios. The engine can sit at its most efficient RPM while the car accelerates smoothly. Advantages: maximum fuel efficiency. The engine stays in its sweet spot almost all the time. The acceleration is seamless, no shift shock, no drop in power. It's light, simple in concept, and cheap to produce. Disadvantages: it feels weird. The engine drones at a constant RPM while the car speeds up, which kills the sense of acceleration. There's no connection between throttle input and engine response. You can't hold a gear, you can't manually drop down for a corner, and CVTs can't handle big power or torque. They're not built for it. Some automakers add fake shift points to make it feel more normal, but that defeats the whole purpose. Best for commuters who want maximum MPG and don't care about driving feel. DCT, dual clutch transmission. This is where it gets serious. A DCT is essentially two manual gearboxes in one housing, each with its own clutch. One handles the odd gears, first, third, fifth, seventh. The other handles the evens, second, fourth, sixth. While you're in one gear, the other gearbox is already prepping the next one. When it's time to shift, one clutch disengages while the other engages almost instantly. The swap happens in milliseconds. No interruption in power, no waiting. Advantages? Faster shifts than any human. Seriously, we're talking under 100 milliseconds in some cases. You get the efficiency of a manual with the convenience of an auto, and because there's no torque converter, there's less power loss. You can also take manual control and hold gears, rev match, and drive it like a sequential racebox. Disadvantages? Expensive, complex. If something breaks, the repair bill is brutal. In stop-and-go traffic, some DCTs get jerky or overheat because the clutches are slipping constantly at low speeds. Early versions, especially in cheaper cars, had reliability issues, but the good ones, like in Porsches, Audis, or the GTR, are phenomenal. Best for performance drivers, track junkies, anyone who wants speed and control without a clutch pedal. IMT, Intelligent Manual Transmission. This one's newer. It's still a manual transmission, you've got a clutch pedal and a stick, but the car's ECU helps out during shifts. When you press the clutch and change gears, the computer automatically blips the throttle to match the revs. It can also cut power momentarily on upshifts to make them smoother. You're still in full control. The car just assists with rev matching, so your shifts are cleaner, especially on downshifts. Advantages: you get to row your own gears, but with less effort and more precision. It's great for learning manual or for spirited driving, where you want quick, smooth downshifts without heel towing. It's lighter than a DCT, simpler than an auto, and still engaging. Disadvantages? It's rare. Not many cars offer it, and if you already know how to rev match, it's not adding much. Some purists think it takes away from the manual experience. Best for drivers who want a manual but appreciate a little electronic help, especially on the street or in the canyons. So what's the best transmission? There's no one answer. It depends on what you're doing with the car. You want involvement, control, and the purest driving experience? Manual all day. You want comfort, smooth cruising, and something that just works in any situation? Torque converter automatic. You're on a budget and need something automatic? AMT will do the job, but don't expect it to feel good. You care about fuel economy above all else and don't care about engagement? CVT, you want performance, lightning-fast shifts, and the best of both worlds? DCT is the move. You want a manual with a little assist for smoother driving? IMT if you can find it. Pick the tool that fits the job. Don't let anyone tell you there's only one right answer. You know how you drive, match the transmission to that. You know what transmission you need. Now you know what separates a Porsche Crest from a Maserati Trident, or why a Rolls-Royce Spirit of Ecstasy isn't just hood jewelry. Every luxury badge has a story, and most of them are way deeper than you think. That video's up next. See ya.